It was deep into the night at Riverside Hospital, and a surgeon, Dr. Michael Harrington, had been asked to stay on the night shift. He was working alongside his colleague, Dr. Oleg Petrov, but Oleg unfortunately fell asleep in the break room. At about 1 or 2 a.m., Dr. Harrington found himself becoming increasingly immersed in the gripping medical drama he was watching on the TV in the break room, occasionally breaking away to grab a handful of chips from an open bag. Suddenly, out of the corner of his eye, he noticed a slight movement in the hallway next to the ICU. Interrupting the show, Dr. Harrington quietly stepped out into the dimly lit hallway and observed what was going on. He peered into each of the ICU rooms, but found all the patients sleeping peacefully in their beds. Satisfied that all was well, he turned to head back to the recovery room. As he walked, Dr. Harrington heard a loud rumble coming from the direction of the 4th floor. Probably just something falling over from the construction work, he thought to himself, not giving it much thought, and continued on his way. Just as he reached for the door handle to the break room, however, a woman's scream suddenly echoed through the empty corridors, causing Dr. Harrington to freeze in place with his heart pounding. Without a second thought, he turned and hurried back to the stairs, determined to find the source of the disturbance. As soon as he swung open the door to the 4th floor, Dr. Harrington was immediately enveloped by a thick, dense fog or haze that seemed to appear out of nowhere. Coughing and spitting, he made his way to the nearest window and opened it wide, causing the eerie haze to dissipate in a matter of minutes. As soon as the air cleared, Dr. Harrington turned back to the doorway, but something whizzed past him with incredible speed, nearly pushing him against the radiator behind him. Shocked to the core, the doctor backed away, his heart pounding in his chest. Deciding he'd had enough, the doctor hurried down the stairs to the break room, where Dr. Petrov had just awakened from his sleep. "Oleg, you won't believe what I saw in there," Dr. Harrington said, his voice trembling slightly as he recounted the strange and disturbing events he had witnessed on the 4th floor. Oleg listened intently, his eyes growing wider with each detail. "You know, I heard a story about this hospital being haunted," he said slowly, as Dr. Harrington finished. "Allegedly, about 30 years ago, a girl who was a patient here fell to her death from the roof after a fight with another girl who was also a patient. They were both figure skaters and apparently got into some kind of altercation that ended tragically." Dr. Harrington felt a chill run down his spine as Oleg continued. "Rumor has it that the ghost of that unfortunate girl has been haunting the hospital ever since, especially the children's ward. They say that if any of the children find out about her, the ghost will kill them. That's why the children's ward had to be closed years ago. Too many unexplained deaths." Both doctors stood in stunned silence for a moment, and the gravity of Oleg's words hung in the air. "So you mean to say what I saw there was the ghost of the murdered girl?" asked Dr. Harrington, his voice barely above a whisper. Oleg nodded solemnly. "It would seem so. And if these stories are true, we could be in grave danger if we don't figure out how to stop it." Dr. Harrington couldn't see where this was going. If the ghost is real and intends to kill anyone who finds out about her, then he and Oleg could be next. What about the other patients in the hospital? Are they in danger too? Knowing that no one would believe their story, the two doctors realized that they would have to take matters into their own hands. They had to find a way to uncover the truth about the ghosts and, if possible, put the poor girl's spirit to rest before it took another victim. With a newfound sense of purpose, Dr. Harrington and Dr. Petrov began to devise a plan. To begin, they will thoroughly search the 4th floor for any clues or evidence of the ghost's existence. And if the story Oleg had heard was confirmed, they would need to find a way to confront the spirit and end its terror once and for all. The lives of the patients, especially the children, depended on their success.